2016, it can be summed up in quite a few interesting ways, but the main theme of 2016 was political correctness. Everyone knows that liberals tend to be PC, and we think the conservatives are anti-PC, which is one of the things that got Donald Trump elected, his stance against political correctness. But is this politically correct era really being led by the liberals? Well, the answer to that question is simply no. Now, don't get me wrong, the far left is very easily offended that they arguably shouldn't be, but so is the far right. We all know the crazy stuff the far left is offended by, and how far it's gone, especially in universities in the United States where campuses are being decimated by anti-free speech rules. But today we're going to take a look at how the far right, and Donald Trump, is just as PC and easily offended as the far left. Trump's famous for his idea of ending political correctness and his ability to not care who he offends. Now, if this is good or bad isn't the issue. What is the issue is that Trump is actually very politically correct and easily offended along with the rest of the far right. Trump has recently come under fire for wanting to make flag burning illegal. Now, flag burning is a touchy subject, and it's understandable why people would be offended by it. But that doesn't matter, because flag burning is protected as free speech under the First Amendment, as per the Supreme Court. But conservatives are so offended by this, they want to make it illegal, despite it being a form of free speech. Free speech being the thing they cling so hard to say why it's okay for them to do and say offensive things. Now, they aren't wrong when they say that, because they 100% do have that right, and nobody should take that away from them. But by wanting to make flag burning illegal, they're trying to take away the very thing they accuse liberals of wanting to take away, which is free speech. Now, you may say flag burning is different, since after all, it is sort of weird to see someone burn our flag. But let's take a look at a more ridiculous way the far right is just as PC and easily offended as the liberals. Cups. That's right, those little paper things your coffee comes in. About a year ago, Starbucks came out with this. Remember this? Their Christmas cup. The far right lost their damn minds over this by saying things like this. And this. Oh, and this too. The far right was so offended by a cup that they went so far as to boycott Starbucks, which, by the way, quick side note, the cup was red, white, and green. Those are the colors of Christmas. The cup was still Christmas themed. It just wasn't Christmassy enough for them. It was a very minimalistic design, but they were so offended because the cup was just not Christmassy enough for them that they had to go out and boycott the entire chain of Starbucks. This is equally as crazy as the liberals who were offended by stores like Target, who had gender-specific toy sections. And speaking of Target, let's look at another way the far right is easily offended and politically correct. You may not know that Target recently shifted into allowing trans people to use whichever bathroom they wish, essentially making both bathrooms unisex. Now, the conservatives were so offended by this that they staged another boycott. They were offended by bathrooms. Now, for sake of argument, let's look at why. They claim it's because they don't want creepy pedophiles going into the girls' bathroom, which is a very valid concern, but there's no evidence this would happen. Also, there was nothing stopping them from doing that in the first place. There was no law saying you had to use the bathroom of your birth sex, and there was nothing stopping men pedophiles from going into the boys' room. So really, that argument has absolutely no basis in reality. Not to mention, unisex bathrooms are already a thing all over the world and in the United States in a lot of places. But the far right was so offended by bathrooms that they made a law in North Carolina forcing you to use the bathroom of your birth sex. They went on to boycott Target because they were offended by where people go to use the bathroom. And conservatives rejoiced because they think their boycott of Target actually hurt them. Which, just to clear that up, Target's financial system was not in the slightest bit affected by the boycott. Target has had financial difficulties due to two things. That being, one, the mass identity theft and credit card theft scandal that took place, and a change in product line that really didn't fit with the market of people who shop there. Target's consumer base has actually grown. So, no, the boycott against Target did not work, and they probably didn't even notice it happened. But again, we have a case of the far right getting offended by something that really doesn't matter, which is what they love to attack the far left on. Now, you may think this video is bashing the conservatives, which I get why it comes off that way, but that's not what this is. This video is to reveal how the conservatives are just as PC and easily offended as the liberals. I'm not here to say being PC is good or being PC is bad. That's up for you to decide. But I'm saying the conservatives are just as offended and PC as the liberals, and that people need to realize that before thinking and electing conservatives just on the hope that we're going to end political correctness if you believe it's wrong. But anyways, I'll leave it to you guys. Do you think political correctness is a big problem? Or do you believe that we need it in society? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I'm the Poli Sci Guy, and I will see you next time.